Hi, this is Cameron with iProperty Management, and today I'm going to do a quick walkthrough and review of RentPrep's tenant screening services. First of all, let's take a look at their packages and pricing. They offer their $21 RentPrep background check. You get nationwide evictions, bankruptcies, judgments and liens, social security number validation. If you add $17 to it, you can get nationwide criminal sex offender search and a credit decision report. It's actually a pretty good report there, adding $17 for $38. And then their more comprehensive package for $40, full credit report, their resident score, a rental background check, and then all these things as well. So the big difference is you get the applicant pay option here, and you get the address history is a really big deal as well. I'd still recommend you go with this one, but if you are on a budget, this $21 one isn't bad. And then you can add judgments and liens for $7, income verification for $10. Let's take a look inside the product, and then I will give you my recommendation. So first, there's a bit of a disclaimer here that in these 9 states and Washington, D.C., RentPrep does not do any criminal background checks. Of course, that's unfortunate. If you're in any of those states, it's kind of hard to recommend their service. Um, yeah, most of their tenant screening services do offer in these locations. So that's a point against them for sure off the bat. Okay, so then once you've created your landlord account, you'll go in and you'll create a property. And then what you need to do after that is you'll go and you will order a credit report or choose the product that you want, whether you want the full credit report or the background check. And you'll click order now. And then you just come to this property or this page and you can select. So the property that I created, I just called it Willie. So you click that and then you enter your tenant's email address. So unfortunately, you do have to have an email collection process before you get them into RentPrep system, which is unfortunate. It's nice when the service gives you a link that you can just use online, and then the the applicant doesn't need you to be involved at all. And then next you come in here and it's just confirm the report you want. You can decline applicants for open bankruptcies. You can choose how many months you want them to look back for it. And that's a pretty nice service. You can auto exclude people. And then you come in here and it's confirming again what you want to purchase. It allows you to purchase these add-ons. And then here it is, another confirmation page. Here you can choose who you want to pay for it, the renter or the landlord. In most cases, we're probably going to have the renter pay for it. Okay, so now at this point, it's you've created the application request and it's sent an email to your applicant. So now in their email, they're going to get this email here, and you can click this. They'll click the start authorization. Comes in here, and it's a nice big green check mark saying, yes, I want to give my authorization. Now, I just want to stop and pause for a second and let you know that this whole process is actually very smooth and user friendly. It's just nice looking. It feels good. It's easy to go through. It's intuitive. I really did like their process from beginning to end. And you can see this page is a very nice, clean page as well. This is the main application page. All the personal details, address, financial information, saying that they accept the Fair Credit Reporting Act. But then unfortunately, that's all the information that they're going to collect. Now, I will say that's in line with most other tenant screening services. However, I do like it when the service does collect information such as like reference contact information, vehicle information, pet information, that sort of thing. So then you don't have to go back and collect it later. But like I said, it's in line with most other services, so it's hard to knock them for that. Okay, and then one other thing is that if you decide you want to purchase the income verification add-on, I believe it was $10, then it sends an email to the person. They have to click here, verify my income. And I'm not going to detail that process because it was 12 or 13 steps. And it's pretty tedious, pretty long. So making your applicant go through that isn't super ideal. But I'll show you what the report looks like here in a minute, and you can decide if it's worth the extra money and the extra hassle for your applicant. Okay, so now I have the reports here. I did the reporting. I purchased the report for a real person, which is why I just have screenshots here in a PDF so I could redact some of the information here. But this is what the actual report looks like. See, right off the bat, we get that it is an exact SNN match. So we get the SNN validation. We get addresses. Come down here and we get the trade lines. A trade line is basically um, who you owe money to, right? So this person owes money to 33 different people, which sounds like a lot, but for example, if you have student loans, that could count for 20 to 25 of them right there because they break them up into smaller pieces. And there's also 3 inquiries. You can see here, this is of special significance here because you can look right at the bat and say, okay, there's nothing negative, no historical negatives, no occurrences of historical negatives. This part, it doesn't look super nice, but it's actually very important because it's a summary of all of the debts that this person owes. If you come down here to the total, and of course I have it redacted here, but you can see what monthly payment this person is paying, and you can see how much total money that they owe. Now this is really nice because I'm not a big fan of rent to income ratio, which is what a lot of landlords use, and a lot of these tenant screening services will give you kind of a stock um, rent to income number. But what if somebody has a whole bunch of debt? Like if you have 2 people that each make 100 grand, but one person has twice as much debt, it's pretty clear that one of them is a more qualified applicant than the other. Okay, another interesting thing here that RentPrep does, they don't give you a credit score. However, they do use what's called a residence score, which is basically a credit score but tailored towards um, rentals. And I don't know everything that goes into it, but it's developed by TransUnion, and they used millions of pieces of data based on people who were evicted or had negative marks, and they use that kind of to create this predictive score. So credit score is more generic, but this is more geared towards renters. So I know you're probably used to seeing credit score, but if you can kind of get past that and be okay with this number, this is actually likely a better figure. Okay. And then you come down here and you'll see the different trade lines. For example, this one's a mortgage. You can see this is totally up to date and paid off. You can see their inquiries. These drop off after 2 years. Come down here. Criminal history is pretty straightforward, especially for someone who doesn't have any. And evictions, no evictions here. Add-ons. So here's the judgment and liens report, which costs an extra $7. Basically, this one just says that nope, there's no judgments or liens, and they're totally fine. Pretty simple report. Now you come to the income verification, and unfortunately I had to redact a lot of this, so it's a little hard to take a look at. But you can see it basically shows you how much money they're making over the past 12 months. They'll show you all the income that they've made. 3-month average, 12-month average. It's a good way to see. I mean, if someone has a W-2 job, it's usually pretty easy to verify income. But for someone who's like a salesperson or a contract worker, or they just work on projects from time to time, it can be hard to really get a feel for how much money they're earning. So it's nice to see kind of an average over 12 months. Say, okay, I know they only made 2 grand last month, but their average is 9 grand a month or something like that. See how much money is in their checking account, the sources of all their net income. This is the recurring income sources, all the different places they have recurring income from, and non-recurring income from that. Okay, now that's the end of the walkthrough. Overall, I think RentPrep is a pretty solid company. Like I mentioned before, I think their pricing is actually at the low end for kind of their place in the market. And I really do like a lot of their process. It's very smooth and user friendly. It was nice and clean. I did like that a lot. Everything was very intuitive and easy to use. So I would definitely recommend them um, as a company that you can rely on. In fact, I don't know if you know who Brandon Turner is. He's a popular guy over at Bigger Pockets, and he says that he uses RentPrep, so that's a pretty big hit in their favor as well. Okay, that's all I have for today. Thanks for listening, and see you later.